Let's move on to the Attorney General's race here in Colorado. A very exciting race, exciting candidate with John Kellner. Just the issue set in that race.
Right.
I mean, one that you're certainly familiar with is that Colorado leads the nation in auto thefts, not a statistic you want to lead the nation in. How is that race shaping up from the party's perspective?
Oh, very good. I think it's one of the key races to watch. The Democrats agree with that. Everyone knows that John Kellner is absolutely within striking distance of Phil Weiser. Phil Weiser's, worried about this race. He's a professor from Boulder, where we have John Kellner, who's a successful district attorney who's solved numerous cold cases here in Colorado. Yeah. He knows how to combat crime. He knows how to put drug dealers behind bars so they're not in front of our schools trying to sell fentanyl to our kids. And I think that is why that race is one of the key ones this year. Not only are we number one in auto thefts, we're number one in bank robberies, we're number one in cocaine use, number two in increase in fentanyl overdose deaths here in Colorado. And the average family is seeing that hit home with drugs being sold at their children's schools, with auto thefts in their neighborhoods, which they believed were safe neighborhoods. That's why they live there. But they're no longer proving to be safe with Democrats in charge. So John Kellner, such a better option than Phil Weiser, and I think the average family in Colorado is recognizing that.
Yeah, and I think you see John Kellner, he's out there experiencing these issues firsthand with his work as a district attorney.
Exactly.
I was at a press conference with him and the DEA a few months back where they were talking about drug busts in the state and just the crime that has resulted from drug activity in this
Very
state.
tied to drugs.
Cartel activity, Mexican drug cartels that are operating here in Colorado. It's all scary stuff, and a lot of it comes from the drug trade in Colorado, and a lot of that is due to the policies that these Democrats have passed decriminalizing fentanyl. I don't know what they thought the results of that were going to be, but then here we are in an election year where people like Phil Weiser, Democrats up and down the ticket, are trying to pretend that they aren't responsible for that. What do you think about that fentanyl law and Democrats' role in this kind of whole crime wave in Colorado?
Well, it's the policies they advocated for. Phil Weiser either stood by and was missing in action or actively advocated for many of these soft on crime policies that now have created more drug-related crimes, more crime in general. Colorado's the third worst state in the nation for a rate of total crime, violent crime and property crime. While the nation is dropping in so many crime measures, Colorado's rising. You can see that in a Common Sense Institute study that just came out with crime in Colorado. Their policies created this. There's data and research showing that. They don't want to acknowledge it because that makes them look bad in an election year. But there's no question that we need someone who's strong in the Attorney General's office. And John Kellner has said that if he's elected, he will sue the Biden administration over their failure to secure the southern border, which is what's allowing all these drugs to flow into Colorado and hurt our kids.
It's such a failure of leadership on so many different levels.